Okay, I'd like to introduce you to one of our main tools that we're going to be using. This is going to be kind of for a booking agent. This is your Grand Central Station where you are going to be working day in and day out. It's desk.com. This is our communication tool with guests. So when guests send us inquiries from our various listings, they come into here and then we begin to work with them. So I just want to kind of go over a brief overview of it. As you can see, it looks very much like any standard email account, but it just has a lot of tools within this email account. So inquiries come in. They come in like this. They come in as these emails that come in. They're called cases. Now, before we go into cases, I also want to introduce you to something over here on the left. So you have a search bar up top. You have kind of like if you want to go to the inbox, you can click on that and it'll take you to here. And then you can click on this little icon, which gives you these different like settings and things like that. One thing too, that there are actually two ways to be logged into the system. You'll notice right now I'm logged in under Next Gen Agent. Okay, that's the reason that this looks the way it does. Watch what happens when I click Classic Agent. All of a sudden, the whole interface changes. This is the old version. We do not, for our agents, we want you using Next Gen Agent. We do not want you using the Classic Agent module. So even if some of you are currently using it, if anyone is using this currently, I'm sorry, we use the Next Gen Agent module. Okay, it's the same information, it just has a different look and feel. Okay, so with that in mind, we'll now look at an individual case, what cases look like. So over here are the folders, or they're also known as the filters. These are all the folders over here on this side, and basically things show up in these based on what they are. So we'll talk more about all these folders later. Right now I just want to get kind of a quick overview of what a case looks like. So when we get an inquiry, it comes in and you click on it, this is what a case looks like. So the first thing I want to show you in an individual case is that it has a customer on here, and you can see if this customer has any other cases by clicking on that customer icon. Also, it has over here another good tool is, as you can see, this message is really ugly. It's a ton of text and stuff. It's because the message that was actually sent to us was broken down into a text format instead of into a normal email format. If you want to see the normal email format, you will come over here and you'll just click on this HTML, and it will show you that this is what this email actually looked like when it was sent. The system just basically takes away all these images and other stuff, and it only puts in the text. So this is the HTML version. This is where you can really see the email in a much prettier form that this person has sent to you. Okay, so that is one thing I want you to be aware of. The other thing are these sidebar tools. So first of all, on this case, it is open. There are three statuses. There's open, pending, or resolved. Open means the ball's in our court. They have sent something to us. We have not responded to them. Okay, so they've given it to us and it's for us to take care of at this point. If it is set as pending, pending means the ball's in their court. We have responded to the person. It automatically will change as soon as you send your response to the person. It will change it to pending. Resolved means we're done with this. Like, this case is resolved. We're done. The person either booked or they don't want to talk to us anymore or whatever. Priority score, we don't really use this much, but you can, if you want, set certain things to higher priority. The group, this is the team that it's assigned to, whether it's team 1, team 2, or unassigned. If it's assigned to team 1, only team 1 agents will be able to see this. Team 2, only team 2 agents. Unassigned means both teams will be able to see it. Okay. The agent, this is the person who has claimed this, that it is the person that is working this in particular case. So you can assign that out. Now there are these labels. Now this has been labeled as a weak lead, okay, which means that this is someone looked at it and they said, you know what, this isn't a good booking. I'm not gonna work with this one right now. I'm gonna see if there's a better one in the up for grabs folder. They're basically looking to see if there are other leads that they want. So they said, I don't want this one. So they marked it as weak, which is what you're supposed to do. Now, Other tags that are in here are a booked lead. If this is someone that's already booked, you just make sure you put that tag on their case. You can put on a dead lead tag when someone is dead and you're done with it. Like, we don't want to deal with this guy anymore. He's dead. Okay, so follow-up 1 and follow-up 2, we're going to go in more detail on those later, but essentially, if you put that tag on an email or on a case, that case will get an email 24 hours later, and then follow-up 2 will go out 48 hours later, so that person gets a follow-up. The follow-up emails basically say, hey, I just wanted to follow up on this and see how you want to proceed. So if I responded to this guy right now, I would, after I respond to him, I would tag it with a follow-up 1. So that way, 24 hours later, he would get another email from me saying, hey, are you still interested? How do you want to proceed? And then if he responds, it'll kill that. It takes off the follow-up tag, so it'll say, no, this guy already responded, so let's go ahead and or then there's no follow-up that needs to be made because he's already followed up with us. Junk is anything, we'll go over this a little later, but junk is basically anything that is not a lead that management has to deal with, that you're kind of like, okay, my manager can deal with this. Payment notices, that's just another tag that you're not going to use. They're basically just put on payment notices as they come in. Okay. The little description, this is where you can make notes about this in particular case. You can put in, this guy is a pain in the butt, or he said he'd call me back next week, or something like that. Attachments, if you want to attach any documents, don't really have to do that very often. But the other thing that you can do is a case timeline. So a case timeline, what this is it will show anything that happens. You can see 4 minutes ago, management, me, I opened this case. Okay. It looks like this one was Jane looked at it, she opened it, but she didn't do anything with it. Okay, so you can get kind of a history of this particular case. All right, so that is what cases are. Those are the sidebar tools. The other thing I want to show you are the macros. So macros are, what they are is they're like, here was where you would type in like, hi, how's it going, George? What you can do is you can put in an automatic like canned response by coming here and putting like, yes, we're open, and then boom, it'll automatically put something in here, and then we can alter it and tweak it a little bit, but that way you don't have to type the same thing over and over and over again. Okay, so that's what macros are. The other thing I want to show you is this search bar up here. So if I wanted to search, you can either, let's say you know the case number, you can put that in. You could even put in a name like John, and then I'll hit search. And now it takes a little bit at searching the system to see if there are any cases that have the name John in them. Okay. I can also do customer names, different things like that. I just usually do case, do John, and look for anything with that. I can put in a particular email address, and I can see if there are any cases in our system associated with that email address. Now, before you take on a new lead, it is important that you search to make sure no one isn't already working with that lead. You always want to double check to make sure that no one is working with them. Okay, you can do that by searching. You can also do that by clicking on the, a customer. So like this guy, John Caesar, I could click on here where it says customer, and it could look, and it looks like there's only one case from this guy, and it's already been, and it hasn't been claimed by anyone. So I could actually take that one on. Okay. But it looks like there's 9 responses. It looks like this one was taken by Nancy Slade. However, Nancy is no longer in here. She's an old agent that is no longer working in the inbox. Okay, so anyway, also you can open up multiple cases at a time. If you hold down Command or the Control button and you click on multiple cases, you'll notice that they pop up there at the top, and you can kind of open them up in tabs up at the top. The last thing I'm going to tell you about is that there is an app for your phone. Okay, I'm going to kind of review here. We talked about regular versus next-gen agent. We talked about cases, what those are, the HTML lookup tool, sidebar tools, all those little things that we can adjust there, macros, the search bar, and lastly is this app for your phone. So what I want you to do is there is a great app for this on your phone. It's really handy. Download the Desk.com app onto your smartphone if you have one, and then you can do this on the go. I would usually suggest that it's a way that you can check just your folders to see if someone has responded to you, and you can make a quick response to them. Okay, and that is the overview of the Desk.com tool that you will be using.